Hello everyone, let's talk collage. Collage is a bunch of pictures or images or pieces of paper all put together in one space. I loved making collages when I was young and I'm excited to share it with you. Today, to make it easy, I'm just taking a close-up image on the iPad and I'm going to trace it. I'm making sure that my hand does not touch the iPad because it will move the image around. And I'm holding my paper with my fingers on the frame of the iPad. I'm going to move the image down so that I can make sure that it is nice and big on my paper. One thing I learned from this experience is that I don't want to have all of the details done in pencil because I was leaving some white space between the stripes on the zebra. After I glued, I could not erase it because the glue covered it. So if you're adding details and are going to have some white space, I would suggest to review the image instead of adding it to your paper in pencil. Once you have your sketch drawn, go ahead through magazines and pick the colors that you want. I'm doing a rainbow here, so I'm making sure I have reds, oranges, yellows, greens, blues, and purples. I'm kind of ripping them up into smaller pieces, but I will make them even smaller and adjust the sizes as I go. I'm using a tearing method, but if you would like to use scissors, that works well as well. I just like the more organic feel of the tear, and then I can make them bigger or smaller pretty easily with my fingers. I'm using glue, Elmer's glue, watered down about 50% or maybe a little less so that it spreads easily. If you don't have Elmer's glue, you can use a glue stick on the underneath to put it down and glue it. If your glue stick is clear like mine, you can probably put that on top too to make sure that they stick really well. For your glue, you want to make sure you paint it on or rub it on, then you stick your pieces, and then you paint another layer on top to make sure that those pieces get stuck really well. I do this a couple times to make sure that you kind of have a nice seal on it. I'm making sure, you don't see it on the screen, but I am looking at the image of the zebra to make sure that my stripes are kind of the correct angles. Here we got it so far. I'm going to continue all the way down to the face, making sure that I put glue, then I place my paper, then I put glue back on top. I'm going to continue to do this until I have finished all of my pieces onto my paper. Here's the completed collage zebra. Next, I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to glue it to a background. Once I cut out my zebra, I'm going to trace it onto my white paper. I do this so that I know where to put my background and so that I don't have to fill in the whole space with my background, only the places that are going to show. I chose to do just letters, black and white, so that I had a nice contrast between my colorful zebra. I check it, make sure that it is all covered in the spaces it needs to be, put a big old glue layer on the bottom, and then make sure to glue it back on top again so it's nice and sealed. Then I put it down on parchment paper and put a couple weighted books on top of it so that it stays nice and flat and is glued down nicely. I hope that you enjoy our collage project today. It is one of my favorite mediums and I have so much fun with it. It's so relaxing and there's so many different ways for it to, for the end result to look. So have fun, you guys.